Today Baba is giving us the shrimat that I must make effort to be liberated from punishment in my final moments. Now you see, we are all Raj Yogis, and our aim is to change from a human to a deity. Now, it is important that I make so much effort so that I don't have to receive punishment in the final moments, because the final moments decide my final destination. And if I receive punishment in the final moments, then my status in the new world will be reduced. That much we have understood, that A, you receive punishment, and B, your status is reduced in the new world. Now Baba says, what effort do you have to make for a long time so that you make sure that you are liberated from receiving punishment? So the effort is to be free from attachment. Yes, so if there is any trace of attachment, then I will not be able to remember Baba, only one Baba in the final moments. And there will be remembrance of some bodily being. And if I remember anything of the old world, then I will have to be purified through punishment. That is the law. So Baba says that you have to make effort so that you remember just one Baba in the final moments, and no bodily being comes to my awareness or remembrance in the final moments. For that, I have to be free from attachment. Now, just ask yourself, how many souls are you attached to right now? Yes, and how many souls do you keep remembering all day? So, they are not just there, they are here. So, how many souls are here in your buddhi all day? Or for any duration in the whole day? So, when you check, you become aware that it's not that I have just one Baba in my buddhi all day. I have these so many dehdharis or so many bodily beings in my buddhi all day. Now, if this is the condition, then will I not remember them in the final moments? I will. And then I will become, I will have to face punishment. Now you see that the law says that you remember in your final moments the ones you remember all through your life. So, if some bodily being is in my awareness right now, then there is a huge possibility that they will be in my remembrance in the last moments. And then if I don't remember Baba in the final moments, how do I have Antamate Sogati? How do I ensure that I go and find a high status in the new world? Now, you see, I saw this thing that there was this one brother, and he was, he had he was in old age physically, and he had been in Gyan for a good time, 8-10 years. And then, he had some problem with the brain, and his brain stopped working uh, to full capacity. And then in that time, he couldn't recognize his wife, he couldn't recognize his son, he only recognized his brother, the brother he had spent his childhood with. And when I was talking about this to his wife, she's the one who told me that, now I'm not even describing the final moment, even close to the final moment, when the conscious mind has stopped working, then the subconscious, you can see what's there in the awareness. And then the Mata, the wife, was telling me that, Didi, my husband, he left his brother and his village when he was 20 years or so of age. And although there was not much interaction with his family members in later life, my husband always kept remembering them, and especially his younger brother, because he had a lot of attachment to him. And even, after 30 years of marriage, when I would cook something that his younger brother liked, he would say that, this thing, my younger brother used to like very much. And he would just mention that. He never forgot what he liked, what he did. He would keep mentioning him all the time. And you see, when his brain stopped working, at that time he could only remember his younger brother. And he was always, talking about him and calling his name, calling out to him, although he was there in the village. But then this person who was in the hospital kept calling out to his younger brother. So why I'm sharing this example with you is that, we are doing all this tapasya, and we understand that the aim is to remember Baba in the final moment and go and get a good status in the new world, create a fortune for the next kalpa. But if I have not made the effort to ensure that in the final moments just one Baba is all that I would remember, then this remembrance of bodily beings, which looks so harmless right now, this is going to cost me my antamate sogati. This is going to cost me my status in the new world. So I must be wary of that. And Baba says, for that, you cannot just ensure that you remember just one Baba in your final moments without making the effort. And the effort is to clean yourself completely of the remembrance of all bodily beings. You have to make the effort that while living in this world, no bodily being pulls your attention, no human being pulls my buddhi yoga. And for that, Baba gives one first point that shifts our attitude. So Baba says that when somebody is in the hospital and you know that the doctor has told that this is a hopeless case, and then this person is going to go away, then have you noticed that you kind of remove your attachment from that person? So although you feel sad or sorry in that moment, but then you know that this person is not going to be here any longer. So you kind of remove your attachment, because you know that you cannot have attachment to the one that's going away. And Baba says, now you have the knowledge that everything that you see through these two eyes is not promising. It's very perishable. It's not something that's going to serve you. And you have this knowledge, imbibe this knowledge that whatever you see through these eyes, the body, the bodily beings, the things around you, they are all going to just vanish in a second. They are all perishable and they are going to perish. And this is the time for them to perish. This world is a hopeless case right now. And you see, we have a picture in the Raj Yoga course. If you have seen the course book, there is a picture in which there is a support, that breathing support you give to terminally ill patients. So there is a breathing support being shown to be given to this world, and that world is in medical support right now and it is breathing its last breaths. So, and Shiv Baba has come to change this world into a new world, and this old world is breathing its last. That is a picture in the course book, and it's very interesting. And Baba says you have to hold this in your awareness and create an attitude that everything that you see through this eyes is going to perish. So let me just remove my attachment from that which is going away. It is not wise to have attachment for something that's dying or someone that's dying. So that's not the sign of wisdom. And you see, I remember there was this one case where there was in the place where we live, where there's the center, in a place close by, there was this incident when somebody died in the family, and then that person, the family member, what he did is he kept the corpse with him for quite long, until it start reeking and it starts smelling really badly, and the neighbors got to find out and it was reported to the police. So this person, he kept staying with the corpse because he had too much attachment. And then the people who saw that and the people who read about it and came to know about it, they spoke about it or thought about it as an act of an ill mind. So it's an ill mind that, or it's a sign of mental illness if I am attached to something that's gone or going away. And Baba says, now you have to understand that this whole world as you see it is going away. So just remove your attachment. You should have the sensibility to remove your attachment from the world that's going to perish and from all the bodily beings that are not going to be in that form any longer. And the soul is going to take another bodies. And who are we attached to? The bodies, not to the soul. Because when I don't recognize the soul, I recognize the body. Now, Baba says that this is the inner work, the work of removing attachment from everyone and everything that we need to do to save ourselves from punishment in the final moments. And then you see, the reason for attachment is also karmic accounts. So, all the vices are because of karmic accounts. So, because I, the soul, am depleted, so there are vices. So there is lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. And if I want to remove attachment, then I have to finish my karmic accounts. I have to settle my karmic accounts. And how are karmic accounts settled? Karmic accounts are settled in yoga with Baba. So you see that why do you feel drawn or attached, or why do you feel emotional, or why do you feel attached to somebody, or why do you feel drawn to somebody, attracted to somebody? It's because the soul is weak. And when the soul is weak, then just like you have creepers, the plants that creep and crawl, and whenever they find a support, they would just start creeping and crawling. Now that creeper is creeping onto a pole or a tree because that it doesn't have the strength to stand upright. And that's why whenever it receives support, it starts creeping on it. Similarly, this attachment is because we have this burden of sins on us. And because of that, the soul is weak and the soul becomes attached to one on the other. And you see, sometimes we think that our karmic accounts are with other souls. But no, our karmic accounts are not with anybody. Our karmic account or a karmic debit is a very personal thing that I have. When I say I have to settle my karmic account, it means that my personal score of a negative, a debit in my account has to be settled by drawing power from Baba and changing my frequency to positive. So this is something that you need to understand. Now I'll give you one very simple example. When a child is little, that child is attached to the parents. But when the child grows up a little, then he is attached to friends. And then he completely, detaches from the parents. Sometimes the child becomes very rude to the parent and he changes completely. And then, after friends, that child finds another person. And then they call that person the special person in their life. And then they get attached to that person and they forget the friends also. So do you think that that happens because one karmic settlement is over and another is over and then there's a third one coming? No. It's not, you don't have a karmic account with anyone. It's not like if you grew disinterested in somebody, or you stopped talking to somebody, or you stopped communicating with somebody, then that means your account is settled. No, there is nothing like that. Karmic account is an individual thing. So as long as I have a debit in my karmic account, I will be attached to one or the other. And sometimes we say that if somebody had a bad marriage and they came out of that marriage, then they say it was a karmic account and it got settled, but then that person got engaged to another person and got attracted to another person after 2 days of the divorce. Now what is that? Is it a new karmic account now with another person? No. It's not that your karmic account got settled because you got divorced with somebody. Your karmic account doesn't get settled when you run away from a situation, or you hate a person, or you avoid a person, or you don't feel attracted or attached to somebody anymore. Your karmic accounts get settled when you move from a place of all these negative emotions towards anybody and everybody, and to a place where you have love, peace, happiness within yourself, and you have a relationship, a complete relationship with just one Baba. That is the settlement of karmic account. And that doesn't happen by taking a divorce or, running away from somebody or hating somebody or stopping to talk to somebody. That is not how you settle a karmic account. A karmic account is settled by having good yoga with Baba. So when you have very good yoga with Baba, then Baba fills you with the love of all relationships. Baba fills you with the treasures of peace, of purity, of strength. The Baba fills you with all the powers. And when that happens, then you don't have the pull towards anybody else. You don't hate anybody, you are not attached to anybody. You can live with anyone and everyone and you don't mind it. You don't feel the urge and the need to run away from somebody or run towards somebody. It's a state where you don't really mind who is around you, and you are your own natural, loveful, caring and respectful self with everybody around. That's the settlement of karmic account. And you don't have to settle your karmic account with anyone. You just have to come to a place where you are so full inside that anybody outside doesn't matter. And it's not like you run away from somebody and towards somebody else. You just have one Baba, and that one Baba is enough. That is called the settlement of karmic account. And even if somebody is rude or good to you, bad to you, rude to you, polite to you, doesn't really make a difference, because everybody is just acting according to their sanskars and it is okay with you. So through yoga power, so by having very good yoga with Baba, by experiencing all virtues from Baba, by experiencing all powers from Baba, by experiencing the sweetness of all relationships with Baba, that is the method in which we will settle our karmic accounts. And when the karmic accounts get settled, then my buddhi will not be drawn to anyone or anything. And that is the effort I have to make, so that in my final moments, nobody pulls my buddhi, and I am able to remember just one Baba and go back home and take a good status in the new world. So this is what Baba is telling us. And then Baba today says that this is the only time, the most fortunate time, when Shiv Baba himself, the wisdom of the wise, the highest on high, the ocean of knowledge, he has come and he is sustaining me, teaching me, advising me. Yes, in the whole of the cycle, we receive sustenance, advice and teaching from souls that are impure and souls that are not completely capable of teaching and advising and sustaining. But now I have Baba, and Baba is giving me the supreme sustenance, supreme teaching, supreme advice. And Baba says that you also have faith that when you follow Baba's advice, when you follow Baba's teachings, then you become the highest in this corporeal world. And the highest position that one can take in this corporeal world is to become Lakshmi Narayan. And Baba says, you must have the faith that I am the Shri Shri, giving you the shrimat, the highest direction, which can elevate you to the highest position in this corporeal world, which can make you, change you into Lakshmi and Narayan. But Baba says, do you follow the advice that can make you Lakshmi and Narayan? Do you take my advice at every step? Do you follow my directions at every step? Now you see, Baba gives us the directions for every step. Every step. What is a step? Karma. So Baba gives us the direction for thought, word, act, eating, sleeping, talking, listening, seeing, everything. Give and take, exchange. Baba gives the direction for everything. Every little thing Baba teaches. But do I take every step on Baba's directions? Or do I, and if there is a confusion, then there is always a nimit you can ask. There's this one Mata, and she was telling me that I was invited to a wedding one day, and that day Baba said that you should not exchange gifts with impure souls, because then you are making them remind them of you, and if you receive something, you will remember them. Even if you give something, you remember them, right? So do not give physical gifts to anybody. And then she said, I had a lot of confusion about what to give. Now I'm going to go for a wedding. So what gift, if I don't go with any gift, that doesn't look nice, and what gift should I give? So then I told her that in the case of such confusions, you can just take advice, you can just ask, message and ask that this is the situation, so what should I do in that situation? And you see, for most of the steps, for most of the karma, Baba gives very clear directions, and we know that the Murli, any Baba's child who is paying attention to Murli has clarity about what direction has Baba given for which step of karma. But even if you have not been listening to Murli for a long time, and you don't know what Baba has said for specific situations, then you can always ask. But do not take any step without the directions of Baba. And Baba says, if you take just one little thing, doing everything on Baba's directions, it can make you eligible for the highest post in the corporeal world. And if you don't do that, then you're wasting this only time where you have Baba's teachings, sustenance and advice. So this also Baba says. Now check for yourself. Do you wake up on Baba's shrimat? Yes. What time do you wake up? What time has Baba directed us to wake up? How do you wake up? Do you wake up and the first thought you create is good morning Baba? Or you wake up thinking about what is the work you have to do? Then, about the morning, Baba has given his directions that up to at least, 8:30 in the morning, try to talk very less, keep quiet, and just stay in remembrance, good remembrance of Baba. And in this morning time, there is not much need to talk. You're not in the office, you're not working, there's not need for much talk. And in this morning time, I have to meditate, and then I have to listen to Murli. In quietness, I keep doing the work. Maybe I have to prepare the breakfast or lunch. I do that. Or if there's something else I have to do, I do that. But I take care to keep quiet in the morning. Be antarmukhi, be inward oriented, not come into too much extroversion in the morning. And do I follow that step? Because I have seen, why I'm mentioning this is because I've seen that following this particular shrimat has given me immense benefit. And Baba says you should have 8 hours of yoga every day. And if you just paid attention from 4 to 8:30 in the morning, you can have 4.5 hours of yoga in the morning itself. So if you're just a little attentive and you have the foundation of Amrit Vela, and then if you're just a little inward oriented, if you're just a little antarmukhi and doing everything in silence, listening to the Murli in remembrance, doing everything in remembrance, then you are accumulating a lot of profit and income in these morning hours. And this is one practice, because I'll tell you, generally during the day, I don't have the time to sit for yoga because there's activity and work and other stuff going on. So this is the time which has helped me build a lot of spiritual strength. And take the advice that Baba gives you. And Baba is the only one that gives us such advice. And you see, every step while looking at somebody, just see the soul. Do you make the effort to see the soul, or do you still see the body and interact? Now you see, if you see the soul, what do you see? You are seeing the shining star. And what is in your awareness? The shining star, the pure soul. And if with every interaction, that is your experience, that is what you are recording inside, that I am in the company of a shining star, a pure soul, whatever is their behavior, whatever is their sanskar, you don't mind it. You are just sitting in awareness that I am in the company of a pure soul. Then just think about what your day would be like. And you see, at every step, if you use shrimat, then every step of the day, every step of karma becomes an opportunity to fill yourself, recharge yourself. And Baba says it is very important to take every step on Baba's direction. And if you don't understand about anything, just ask. But don't do anything without shrimat, because this is the only time to accumulate. And if you do things on manmat, then you will be discharging yourself. So this is something. Then this shrimat of writing the chart or sitting in remembrance before going to bed, this is a very valuable shrimat. Yes, I have seen BKs, Baba's children, going to sleep with their phone in hand, in the final, when you're sleeping, just about to sleep, at that time also looking at the phone and then sleeping. But that's not shrimat. And how will your fortune be different from the fortune of the world if your actions are different from the Kali Yugi actions? Because actions determine the destiny. And if my actions are not on shrimat, then how will my destiny be according to what Baba is giving me? Then my destiny will also be according to what Ravan is giving to the whole world. So follow shrimat at every step. When you're talking, take care to think and speak. Take care to speak in a manner that serves your purpose and doesn't hurt anybody. Take care to speak less, speak sweetly, speak softly. So at every step, if you just followed shrimat, even talking would accumulate income. And you see, Janki Dadiji used to always say that the more I talk, the more I share knowledge, because the only talk she did was share knowledge, the more silent I become. She used to say that I feel like day by day I am accumulating more power of silence and peace by increasingly giving lectures. So if you speak knowledgefully, if you speak peacefully, if you speak lovefully, if you speak less, if you speak softly, then this speech will make you full. While talking, you will feel like you are accumulating power of silence, power of peace. So Baba says that do not take any step without Baba's shrimat. And this is the time to earn an income, and this is the only time when Baba is sustaining me, advising me. And the biggest, shrimat is be pure, be yogi. Pay very good attention that none of my actions emerge from vices. I am pure, completely viceless in my thought, word, and act, and all the time my buddhi yoga, my remembrance is with Baba. So Baba says, make the most of this Sangam Yug, make the most of the advice and teaching of the highest on high Shiv Baba. Okay, Om Shanti.